Hello, friends, and welcome to Rise Up in Real Estate, where we are on a quest. We are looking for the extra in the ordinary. And I'm Tad Fulford, and I will be your host on this journey where we will take an honest look at what makes ordinary people extraordinary. Exactly how can we be extra in our personal and our professional lives? In this season of the Rise Up in Real Estate adventure, there will be a monthly rhythm, meaning each month we will have 4 unique episodes. In one episode, we'll tackle a pressing current real estate industry thought. In another, we will chat with a local difference maker in the real estate space. For our 3rd episode, we will host a respected national thought leader. And finally, we will have a 4th bonus and surprise episode. And in each episode, we will be digging into not only what those people think, but who those people are. Along the way, it's my hope that you'll laugh some, you'll be challenged some, you will get inspired some, and if we are lucky, maybe even figure out a way or two you can rise up in your own life and be the best human that you can be. So the challenge is, let's all rise up. Hey, welcome back, Rise Up Nation. We're here for another episode of Rise Up in Real Estate, and I've got a great friend. I'm so glad to do this. Sometimes I do guests from all over the place, and some people I know good, some people I don't know good, some people I'm just getting to know. But this guy, I feel like I know pretty good. We've worked alongside each other for a long time, and I have a lot of respect for how he does his life personally and professionally, and I'm excited for you to hear from him today. Let me introduce you to my friend, Mr. Mark Gouhin. Mark, great to have you on the show.
And great to be on the show, Tad. Thank you so much for inviting me.
Absolutely.
Awesome.
Well, the reason we did that is because I mean it when I say I've had a lot of respect for you over the years. Like if I had to define kind of how you do things, it's your way. Like you've always set a pretty excellent standard for anything that you've done. You're not going according to anybody's drumbeat but yours. You kind of set the tone is the way I look at it, and quietly do your thing. And I love your family and all those things. So tell our listeners, because I know this already, but where were you born, Mark? I'm trying to figure out how can we connect you to some more people. Tell me about your childhood. Where were you born?
Yeah, so I was born in a little town called Sharmanstown, Pennsylvania. It is in the Harrisburg, Pennsylvania area. People know Mechanicsburg and Campville, and Sharmanstown's this little tiny town in between those two. I don't believe there was a stoplight in my town when I grew up.
That's pretty cool. And are you, right now when I hear the word Pennsylvania, I think of the Phillies and the Eagles because they're both having pretty good years. Are you fans of either of those? Are you a sports guy?
I used to be pretty hardcore sports guy, but this kind of lost interest over the years. My parents are from Ashtabula, Ohio, so I was always a Cleveland Browns fan. But I honestly have not watched an NFL game for the last 2 years, and I really don't miss it.
Yeah, I like that. I'm good friends with TJ O'Brien, and TJ's a huge Browns fan.
We used to talk Browns all the time.
Yeah, I've listened to him so much talk about the Browns. I collect jerseys, and I actually bought a jersey the other day, like a couple of weeks ago, for the Browns because I'm willing them to win something significant. Like I don't know why it's always easy to cheer for the underdogs. So do you have brothers and sisters? Did you live in Pennsylvania a long time before you moved around, or are you pretty much from there, single child, or brothers and sisters?
No, I'm the youngest of 4. I have 2 older sisters and an older brother. They all still live up in that central Pennsylvania area. I jetted out and went to college at East Stroudsburg up in the Poconos, and pretty much just moved up there permanently since 1988.
Okay. And
that's where I met Lori, and then we moved down here to Myrtle Beach in 2005.
Okay, awesome. And you weren't always a real estate guy, right? Right now, we'll get into what you're doing now, but what was your work career prior to that?
So during school, I taught skiing and got really involved in action sports. So I managed a really cool ski shop for a while. And I had the opportunity then to purchase my own. So at 29 years old. I purchased a sporting goods store. Our main things were bicycles, skateboards, snowboards, and that was in Stroudsburg, Pennsylvania, right in the heart of the Poconos. So we ran that store for 10 years. It was a lot of fun.
That's pretty cool. And did you pick up your music love then also? Is that like a childhood thing, or because I know you have a band now, right? Or you were in a band?
Yeah. We call ourselves the Resonators, and okay. We have a gig coming up at Rooster's Tavern on November 3rd. It's on 544, kind of where 544 and Big Block Road in that shopping plaza there.
Right.
A place called Roosters, and it's a blast. Being the youngest of four siblings, my oldest sister had like every album you could think of. So music has always been in the family. I didn't really get serious until just a couple years ago, though, with actually being a musician, and I kind of got full bore, into it. I just love it.
That's pretty neat. So, does your band have a website? Is that or is it a Facebook page or something I could?
Yeah, so not yet. I was in a band previously, and we had something came up with the drummer, and we were on a hiatus. And then I met some other people, and so we're pretty fresh. So no website or Facebook page yet, but it's coming.
Okay, cool. I'm going to put the name of it in the show notes, and if we don't, I don't know if we'll air this before November 3rd or not. But if we, maybe that's a motivation too, so we can drive some people to your concert. But the Resonators, and I'm smart enough. I can play music on the radio, but that's about all. But I'm smart enough to know that in the background of this video part of the show, those are bass guitars. Is that correct? 4 strings?
That is correct. Yeah.
Okay.
And so I'm the bass player. I'm keeping the low end going.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. That is a lot of fun. I'm glad you're getting to do that. And I'm also looking at I'm going to give your wife some props for a second. I see some artwork behind you that Lori is very involved with. Tell me a little bit about that love and where people can find her art. I think they need to see it.
Oh, yes, absolutely. So Lori, she's an international selling artist. Abstract is her specialty. And her website is her name, which is Lori, Lori, Gouhin, Gouhin. .com. She has all of her art on there as well.
Awesome. I'm going to put that in the show notes as well. I know she doesn't. I hope she doesn't mind us driving people there. But you guys have got to connect to her on social media. And I do this. I told Mark a long time ago, I will buy. There's going to be a piece that will speak to me, and I'm going to buy it. I'm excited because I look at all of it, and I haven't found the perfect one yet. But she just really brilliant. Artist, the pieces do speak to you, and I think she does a good job of explaining in an abstract way what they stand for her. But I've watched her interactions with people on social media, and everybody has a different idea. That's the beauty of that kind of art. So what a fascinating family. Tell me about your daughters too. I know, brag on them for a second. You got to be super proud.
Oh yeah, absolutely. So my oldest daughter, Lydia, she is in commercial finance. She lives in Brentwood and works in LA. She's 27. My middle daughter, Sophia, is also in corporate finance. Not really sure how that all happened, but that's where they landed. They both graduated from the University of South Carolina. But she's 24 and lives in Boston. And then our youngest just started her freshman year at the University of South Carolina. So I've given them a lot of money over the years.
Yes, you have.
And that's Violet. She's 18, and she's doing fabulous in a sorority. Has great group of friends, and just loving the college life right from the get-go.
That's cool. So this explains why you guys have such elaborate hobby / profession things outside of your work career, because you are empty nesters now for the first time. You've got all the girls are gone. You're playing bass guitar. Lori's painting. You're running a pretty successful real estate business too. I wanted to talk to you a minute about that. Like, what was it? What brought you and Lori to the Grand Strand from up in Pennsylvania or in the Poconos when you were living up there. What brought you down this way?
Yeah, so it was 2005, and we had a brick and mortar store, but we had started when our first was born in 1996. Lori was a school teacher, and she decided that she did not want to be home with the kids. And so she figured out how to invest in real estate and started investing in real estate. And it's funny, the first property we bought was a duplex. The interest rate was 9.25%, and it cash flowed.
Wow. There you go.
It's a good story to tell folks with the current interest rates. But so Lori lived in the Poconos all of her life, and we wanted to branch out with real estate investing. So we went and looked in Texas. We went and looked in North Carolina. And it wasn't really a plan, but we landed here in Myrtle Beach in April of 2005 and purchased 2 investment properties. And funny story, we're driving back home. It's beautiful, sunny, and I swear we hit the Maryland line and it was just gloomy. And we're like, you know what? We could just sell our business and move south, and we did it.
And that was in 2005. So did you get right into real estate, or did y'all just invest? And then when did you get your license?
I got my license in 2006.
Okay.
And that wasn't a total plan. But what I found is that the real estate agents were scooping up all the good investment properties. So I'm like, I better join the game here. And then got into real estate and, just loved it, loved dealing with people and helping them find their dreams, and, then just went full time in real estate.
And you did general real estate for a while. You were actually a broker owner for a little while in the general real estate world. But tell us what you're doing now. Where it's be specific so that we can find you if you want to. If we've got a customer or client, the real estate agents are listening. So talk to us a minute about where you are.
Yeah. Okay. So, I got licensed in 2006, and I joined RE/MAX Southern Shores in 2010, and was with RE/MAX Southern Shores right up till 2021, with 1 year little hiatus where I went and, as you said, I was a broker in charge for a small company for a while, but came back to RE/MAX. But and I've kind of always I love change, and I went from being a sporting goods store owner. I got involved in local government. I was a borough council member for a while up in the Poconos. I coached tennis, Carolina Forest High School for a couple years. So I just really like change. And I've always just thought about on-site agents. I had just so many, of course I sold a lot of new construction and got to be friends with so many on-site agents, and just kind of, asked them a ton of questions. And I just said, let's look into it. And I found Chesapeake Homes. They're based out of Virginia Beach, Virginia, building homes for over 30 years. Was just super impressed with their product, and just kind of made a focus on getting to know some people. And then it turns out that one of my past clients who bought and sold 3 or 4 houses with me was the warranty person for Chesapeake Homes. So she got me in contact with some people, and next thing I know, I'm selling new homes with Chesapeake Homes.
And where is your specific neighborhood, or are there several for Chesapeake?
No, so we do not cross sell at Chesapeake. Okay. So I'm at Waterbridge, which is off of Carolina Forest Boulevard in Carolina Forest. Wonderful community. There's 3 phases there. The first phase was the original developer, their custom homes. We're phase 2. We have 226 home sites. We've sold getting close to half of them by now. We started in the fall of 2021. And there's a phase 3, which another national builder is building. And kind of funny story with that is when I was in the process of talking with Chesapeake Homes, the sales manager at the time, who she's not there anymore, spoke with her, on and off for many months. And it was just like, when this opens, you're in, it's all great. And I literally got an email from her saying, sorry, Mark, we decided just to hire from within. And I was like, whoa. So not wanting to take no for an answer, I ended up contacting the regional vice president, or the vice president of operations, I should say. She was up in Virginia Beach, and she agreed to have a Zoom call just like this with me. And she was like, the rest is history. And I think we're both super happy that I'm on board with Chesapeake.
Yeah. So good for you I've known you for a lot of years, and that sounds like something you would do, if you want something, go get it. So good for you. And I know they're lucky to have you. What's the last year been like? Like in the general real estate world, we've been talking a lot about the shifting market, the changing interest rates, the buyer reluctance, sellers are confused because they have one rate and don't want to go to another rate. But what's it like? What's it been like for you in an on-site environment? Tell me about that.
So yeah, we have been very busy, thank goodness. And I think that a good majority of our customers are selling up north and moving down here with big down payments. So their mortgages aren't huge, so the interest rates aren't affecting them as much. One thing I can say is that our business of local right size buyers, either they want something bigger or smaller, but they're local. For them, it's a little tougher to walk away from a 2.5, 3% interest rate if they do need to get a mortgage. So that part of our business, I believe, has slowed a little bit, but everything else, we're selling, multiple properties a month, and it's doing really well.
Yeah, that's good. You guys need to do yourself a favor and go look at Waterbridge with Mark sometime. Can they just, an agent or a customer just stop in there and ask for you? You guys have a sales center right there on site?
Yes, we have 2 decorated models.
Okay.
The address is super easy to remember. It's 444 Starlit Way is our sales office. And it's myself and my partner, Audrey. We call ourselves the Dream Team. We work as a team, which is just really awesome. But we are individually competitive, which makes it so fun because we're just like, oh, you got a sale now. I'm getting the sale, and just selling the dream over in Waterbridge, and it's doing really well. But yeah, we're open every day, 10 to 5, Monday through Saturday, and noon to 5 on Sundays. And either myself or Audrey are always there.
That's great. And the amenities over there are pretty special, right? Is that kind of what you guys are the secret? I know the building product is very good, but the amenities are sweet, huh?
Yes, they are. So Waterbridge boasts the largest residential pool in the state of South Carolina. It has 2 beautiful clubhouses, a fitness room, and the pool has a lap pool, 0 entry area. It has a hot tub, fire pit, and it even has a swim-up refreshment bar. Now, it's not staffed or anything, but you can stash your coolers there and hang out in the water with your arm up on the bar. It's pretty cool.
Sounds like you're living on vacation, kind of.
Oh yeah, it's definitely a resort feel.
Yeah, that's neat. Well, go see Mark at Waterbridge. You will do yourself a favor. You might end up moving there yourself, because I helped develop Plantation Lakes, which is right across the street there. And I remember when that developer was putting in the roads and all that back in the day. And it's what a great location. Just amazing.
Yeah. I enjoyed your podcast with the 2 guys you were sales, Matt and
Graham.
Matt and Graham. Yeah, they're good guys.
Yeah, I actually met them right when I first moved here. So they've seen the good, bad, and the ugly of Tad along the years. So Really good guy. So tell me from your perspective, because I know you're a well-read guy and you pay attention. You probably don't graze on the media or the news that much, if I remember you from the past. But if you had a crystal ball, and it's a Mark Gouhin, it's the Gouhin family crystal ball, what do you see happening in the next 12 to 24 months and specifically in business for us? And I ask all the guests this, and of course can't hold you to anything, right? But tell me your perspective, because I know it and I want to hear it out loud.
Oh yeah. So, I do see, we're blessed to be the Myrtle Beach market. I did recently see a article from Pods, the company Pods, that they've been shipping more pods to Myrtle Beach than any other area in the country. So with that going for us, I feel the next 12 to 24 months will stay strong. Of course, interest rates are going to have an impact on that, whether they keep increasing or not. But we're still, such a desirable area. And, we, in the new home sales, there are, plenty of buildings still going on. So I see a bright future.
Yeah. I love, I've asked a lot of people that question, and, my coach tells me there is really no bad or good market. It's just the market you're in. And really the market that you're in, I have had someone tell me this, I thought was fascinating. The market that you're in is actually a result of what's happened in the past. So a lot of people wallow in it's actually the past that you're wallowing in, and you're not doing anything about the future. So then that market's not going to be any good either. But I like your, when I hear you answer that question, it's just exactly what I thought it would be. Like, it is what it is. I'm going to make it the best I can make it. And it's great. It's going to be great. I don't think anyone's told me that it's going to stay strong were the words that you used. That just tells me a lot about your perspective. And that's one thing I've always appreciated about you, your positivity, you're optimistic, realistic, but optimistic. Don't spend a lot of time. I think I remember you telling me you don't really watch the news. Is that true still?
Yes, that is true. Of course, I keep up to date on what's happening that would affect my family, but no. We have one of those TV things in this house, but it's never on.
I love that. One of those TV things.
And one is all we have. So just as long as everything is cool around me, and that's all that really matters.
Yeah, that's interesting. Darren Hardy, who I've been coaching with him this year, he says he challenged us all to make the bedroom a screen-free zone, like no phones, no iPads, no Kindles, no television. He laughed when someone said they had a television in their bedroom. He was like, "What in the world?" And now, those of you that know Darren Hardy, he's like an extremist. But it sounds like you only have one TV. That's pretty good. Most people have one in every room. So that right there tells you a little bit about Mark Gouhin. That's why he can play 3 bass guitars in the background, and he, very successful. He doesn't even know what the market's doing. I love it. You're just setting your own tone, which is fantastic. And it couldn't happen to better people. My wife loves Lori. Like, every time she sees her on social media, she just says, "I need to go have a glass of wine with Lori."
Well, we definitely have to have you guys over here check out Art, and so Lori also is a certified life and business coach.
Yeah.
So especially with the empty nester now, it's that business is taking off for her as well.
Oh, that's great. I'm happy to hear that. If you live or own property along the coast of South Carolina, you probably need insurance. We Insure Advocates is a locally owned independent agency with industry-leading service support. Our team of customer-centric agents can explain your coverage options and help you craft an insurance program that fits your needs and budget. Data-driven for better value, people-led for better service. That's the difference of we. For all of your property insurance needs, please find us at weinsureadvocates.com or call us at 843 491 6990. Tell me, I ask everyone this question also. If in my philosophy is that we're all here at every stage in our life for a reason. We go through things so that we can help people that are going also through things. You know, our experience, our education, all of it leads us to some point. So here you are in your life, right? Living this part of it. But what do you, if I asked you what your superpower was, like, what is it that Mark is really good at? And people hate answering this. And I know you're an introverted guy to some degree. Don't like talking about yourself, but what is it that you're really, really good at? You think you've been gifted with?
Yeah. So I would say that is just building rapport with people I don't know, very quickly, very honestly and intimately. And I think that's why on-site sales is just such my wheelhouse. You just are able to, after a while, you're able to read people. You just ask a couple questions that just puts their guard down. And before you know it, you're cracking jokes with them. And they kind of forget that they're there to buy a house for a minute, because you're, getting to know the person, building rapport. And, I feel it makes people very comfortable with me. Nancy Skelly was just in the other day with her client, and she's like, doesn't Mark just make you feel good? He's just so calm. And then that made me think, like, okay, I guess I'm calm at the beginning, but then, once everything opens up, then, we're laughing and, telling jokes. So I'd say, that would be my superpower, just being able to make people feel comfortable, and then building that rapport so that they stay comfortable with you. And, you basically build a relationship. And, so many of my past clients, we stay in contact, we're texting, you just build that friendship where you're not hanging out together, but there's a bond there.
That's cool. I'll put you on the spot and ask you something I didn't prepare you for, if you can answer it. Can you teach us a question or two that are like your secret? I'm sure you have a script to some regard that you follow, maybe. Do you have questions that are really good, like your gold nugget questions that if you ask them early on, it gets people to open up?
Yeah. So one is, so where's home for you now? And, they might say, Long Island. And then I'll say, oh, I had an aunt and uncle that lived in Huntington. And then next thing you know, they're saying, oh, we're like 20 minutes from Huntington. And then, it just builds that you have something in common right away. That's just one example. Then if they have, a Notre Dame Fighting Irish hat on, or, something like that, it just gives you the key as to, something to talk about that's going to interest them, and you just go with it.
And were you taught that, Mark, or did that come from owning a store years ago? How did you learn those things to pick up on signals like that?
I believe, of course, I would think, I've been taught so many different things because, I definitely believe in continuing, gaining knowledge on things, either by listening to podcasts. I've had a few coaches along the way. But, way back in the brick and mortar store, I was the guy. So I had to train all my salespeople. And, it's like that instant thing. You never ask a yes or no question. Never, ever, ever ask that something that someone can just say yes or no. You got to ask an open-ended question that they have to. And I think just building on that, and then just my personality, it just kind of flowed into, being really comfortable with people right from the get-go.
Yeah. I like the way, like, so many of us ask the question, where are you from? But when you ask it a specific way, what's home for you now? It's almost to me like I'm overanalyzing maybe, but the fact that you use the word home, and it makes us all more comfortable. That word is just a comfortable word. And then you say now, you're presuming in a way that they're going to move to where you are.
Exactly.
Is that on purpose, or is that the way? I mean, that seems very crafted. Is that true?
Yeah, I believe it is. I mean, it just kind of came naturally and
Yeah.
it worked. So I just run with it.
Yeah, I like that. I probably overanalyze. Mandy says I
Oh,
never
no, that
never stop.
because that's so true. Home makes them feel good, and now, like, but that's going to change, right? You're
Yeah.
moving here to Waterbridge.
Yeah, I love
We'll
that.
build you a house in 7 months.
That's right. Yeah, we'll get you right in here. No, I love that. And I think that, when you're sitting in an environment like you are, you're learning. I mean, there's this big engine spending marketing dollars to drive buyers to put in front of you. And that's what I loved about talking with Matt and Graham too. Like I don't know guys better than the three of you probably at converting a lead, even though that word is so insensitive and I hate it. If a customer, client, family comes and sits in front of you, you are very well versed at getting them from point A to point B through questions, overcoming objections, calming them down. Like a lot of it's the atmosphere and the mood. So we probably we could do a whole nother episode on how to handle buyers with you, because that's what you do 24/7. Because you don't list any property outside of you're just very specific. You don't do any general real estate now, correct?
Yeah, very, very specific. And that was kind of a big thing to get over, was because I've been an entrepreneur since 1995. Because as a general brokerage agent, you're your own boss. So now I'm on a schedule. I have to be at work at certain times. But it doesn't even feel like I'm at work because I just love it so much.
That's good. I didn't know how, when you decided to do this, I've always respected you and was excited and wanted you to succeed, but I wasn't sure how the consummate entrepreneur would do in that environment. So I'm happy to hear that you're thriving in that environment. It's because you're honestly, you're one of the few really that in general real estate that really understood you were an entrepreneur. I think a lot of us, if you ever read the book, The E-Myth, I think a lot of people think they are entrepreneurs, but they're not. And they just don't explore it. But I felt like you had a good grasp on it. That's because how I didn't know if the transition would go for you. So I'm happy that you're where you are. You're pretty resilient.
Yeah. And I think it helped because I was so systematic in my general brokerage business. I worked by a schedule. I had, certain things that I did at certain times of the day. I mean, of course, not 100%, but that was the goal every day, to plan it out and go to work,
Yeah. And we need you back in general real estate, Mark, because this whole thing, I know you're probably paid attention, this whole buyer's agency thing that's abreast now. You were the one that we always referred to about you set your rate. Like you always did a great job of selling your value to the client. And now it's getting ready to become a real thing for every single person with these buyer agency lawsuits and whatever. We won't go down that rabbit hole, but we need you back over here. Maybe I'll get you to come teach a class or two still even now about that.
Yeah. Maybe that could be a little side hustle. I could coach agents on how to work a buyer from start to finish and, make sure you actually get paid.
Yes. Yeah. That's the important part. That's a secret that we might.
But that when I learned to always meet a buyer at the office, make sure they're pre-qualified, and have them sign a buyer agency agreement where they're agreeing to pay a portion of the co-broke fee if the seller is not paying it. Because luckily back then, when I was in general brokerage, most co-brokes were at 3%, but they have been going down consistently. Now it's 2.5%, 2%. And on average, I was getting 3 to 3.5% because of the way I structured my buyer agency business. I worked with a lot of buyers, and in the end, they were happy to pay me.
Yeah, yeah, that is definitely. I might get you back in a special episode later on when these lawsuits shake themselves out, and we can talk it through for sure. Tell me real quick as we wrap up here. What is a book that you love that you've read, either personal or professional? I had a guest a few weeks ago tell me they were not a reader, which I appreciated. But if you are, or you're a listener to Audible, what's a good book you've come across?
Yeah, so right now I am listening to a book by Rick Rubin, who is a music producer, and the book is called The Creative Act, and he he has a quote. I don't know exactly, but he started the book on how to be a creative artist, and the book turned out to be just how to be. And one of the things, just like a little snippet, is everyone is creative. I mean, you might get creative to take a different route home if there's traffic in front of you. You don't have to be, on a billboard or, in a movie to be creative. Everyone's creative. And that's what, the story of this book is. And it's just really good. I'm really enjoying it.
And how do you spell his last name? Is it
R
R-U-B-I?
U Rubin.
Okay, perfect.
Rick Rubin. He's a character.
Yeah. Are you actually reading it? Do you like putting your hands on it, reading it? Or are you an Audible guy?
I'm an Audible guy.
Awesome. That I love that.
And then just another plug, because this book definitely changed my life, is The Miracle Morning by Hal Elrod. I mean, that's been out there for many, many, many years. But, you win those first few hours of the morning, you definitely win the day. And, you get that morning routine going and nothing's going to stop you.
Yes, that's excellent. Rennie Diedrich, our broker in charge, is a huge fan of Hal Elrod. She talks about the Miracle Morning often. Give a plug to your workout group, Mark. I want to put the connection to that in the notes if y'all are accepting new members. Tell me a little bit about what you do for fitness with those guys.
Yeah. So there's it's actually a leadership group disguised as a workout group. So it's called F3, and the F stands for fitness, fellowship, and faith. And it's not it's not Christian or anything. It's open to everyone. The faith part is just believing in something bigger than yourself. So it started in Charlotte, North Carolina back in 2011, and it has grown all over the world. It's just amazing. We're in Korea, Germany, and it's all over the US. I mean, which is cool because there's many, many workout groups here in Myrtle Beach. But if I go up to Pennsylvania to visit family, I can hook up with a group. If I go to Charlotte, just wherever, they're everywhere. But so it's 100% free. Everyone is welcome. We have kids from 23 years old to Papa Smurf, we call him. He's in his 80s, and he gets out and works out with us. No man is ever left behind. We got each other's back. Workouts are always outside, rain, shine, hot, cold. And most workouts during the week are from 5:15 to 6, 45 minutes. We start on time, end on time. And then on Saturdays, they're usually an hour, and it either starts at 6 or 7. There's a couple different times. So f3nation.com is where you're going to find information. And it's it's a thing that it's free. But the motivation to go is that you're accountable to the other guys. Like we'll text at night, just HC, and that's a hard commit. Like hard commit, I'm going. And once you do that, there's no turning back. You're gonna get you're gonna get your butt out of bed and go work out. So it's a really cool group, and just made so many friends through it. It's really cool.
That's neat. So the website is F and the number 3. Don't spell out 3, right?
Correct.
F3nation.com. That's excellent. You should make it F4 because you said free twice, and that's Rennie's favorite F word is free. So F4 Nation, but F3 Nation. Thank you for sharing that. I know that I want to get into the nicknames and all that because that's what I'm fascinated with. Everybody has this cool name that really matches who they are. Like I actually think of some of these, like Frank and Travis, my landscape. I know all their F3 names, which is pretty funny.
Oh yeah, Frank. I was out there with Frank this morning.
Yeah, Sade.
We're lifting things and running around. It's like recess for men. That's what it's really like.
Yeah, I know. I should come because I'm up. I mean, I'm one of the few people that are probably up that I have to be, but I'm also usually holding a baby or two. Tell me the name of the podcast. We named it Rise Up in Real Estate. I did that because somebody said, are you trying to start a revolution? I'm like, well, if it happens, it happens. But what I'm trying to figure out is what people do, what extra people do, ordinary people do, to make themselves kind of rise above mediocrity. And I know the reason I asked you to be on the show is I know 100% you're not a mediocre guy. You never have been as long as I've known you. You've always kind of set the tone in all that you've done. But is there one thing, maybe it's the Miracle Morning, but one thing that you do on a daily basis that helps you rise up?
Yeah, I would say it all starts in the morning. So this morning I was up at 4:20. I lay in bed for a little while and breathe. I don't remember where I heard it, but of course we all breathe all day long, but it's very shallow. And I read or heard something about how important it is to take, big deep breaths. So of course you do that when you're working out, but so I'll do that first thing in the morning and just think about what I'm grateful for. Grab the coffee, do that Wordle thing every day, and then go work out. And I'd say that's the thing.
That's awesome. I'm surprised you didn't say this because you've been my sense of accountability on a couple things, but this is one of them. Is your water commitment. You drink 8 ounces of room temperature water, right? Every morning. You still do that?
Yeah. In fact, now it's a saltwater mixture.
Okay.
I mean, I'm blessed with the most awesome wife ever, and she keeps me very healthy. We eat very healthy. It's called Soulé, and I don't even know the spelling of it, but it's a glass of water with a teaspoon of this saltwater mixture in it. So yep, that's every single morning, first thing.
You are the man. I'm going to ask Lori about that because that's probably why I'm glad she and my wife haven't gotten together lately, because I'm sure that Mandy would come home with a whole prescription of things that this old husband of hers would need to take into account.
There are so many natural things out there that will keep you healthy.
Yeah. And I think, I just changed doctors to a holistic, and we won't get into that today, but there are a lot of natural choices that we don't get, that aren't just put in front of you. And I appreciate that you just said that, because breathing is something we take for granted and you don't ever focus on it. I have a friend that talked to me about that not too long ago, and you bring it up again too. Are you an ice bath guy? Do you ever do that too, or freezing cold showers?
I've done the cold shower, but it's funny because here, like, the water doesn't even get that cold. Like, you can have it all the way cold and it's not that cold, but I have never done an ice bath. So okay. I think now that you brought that up, because, we talk about it here and there, and a good buddy of mine that's a chiropractor, he's an F3. He actually bought this ice bath system for his house and just talks about how awesome it is. So definitely have to look into that.
That's awesome. Well, Mark, as you could tell,
how about you? Have you done ice bath?
No, I've done did have some friends that challenged me just to turn the shower all the way cold for, 30 seconds the first day, then work your way up to when you get to 5 minutes. But no, I've seen this ice bath thing, and I'm not a guy that likes to be cold normally. So I'm not really ran out to get into the trend of it. I know Mike Fitzpatrick has one in his garage that he has put on social media, and I've got a couple of very fit friends that do it. So it probably wouldn't hurt me.
Yeah. It's got to be a good shock to the system.
For sure. Go ahead.
Or if I could just say, how much I appreciate you and Mandy and Rennie. Loved being part of the family. I still feel, totally part of the family, even though I'm not there under your roof. Appreciate you guys, and to all the agents that are under your umbrella, just how lucky they are to have you guys. Really do love you guys.
No, the feeling is mutual. We feel the same way. I would be sad if you would say you weren't part of the family anymore, because as far as we're concerned, you are, and just an extension of it, doing another thing somewhere else. And we appreciate you. And thank you so much for taking the time to be on Rise Up in Real Estate. And I will keep you posted as to when we're going to air this thing so you can listen to it, tell your family and friends. And I wish you would give Lori a hug for me tonight and tell her I said hello.
I'm not going to wait till tonight.
Yeah, that's right. I forgot. You're an empty nester. You're an empty nester. But thank you for your time, Mark, and God bless you and all that you do going forward. And I'll talk to you real soon.
All right, Tad. Thank you so much.
Well, hey, that's a wrap, folks. Thank you so much for listening to Rise Up in Real Estate. If you liked hanging out with us today, please find us on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube at Rise Up in Real Estate. Also, follow us right now on your favorite podcast host to hear more episodes. We really appreciate you spending some of your time with us. And until next time, let's do each other a favor and all help each other rise up.